Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jonathan with Bay Area Throwbacks, and there they go. And today I have another comparison video with the Mitchell and Ness and a game used jersey. These are both batting practice jerseys, and that is the 1994 Mitchell and Ness Matt Williams Giants batting practice jersey, and the 1994 game used John Burkett batting practice jersey. Same style, a year apart. So I highly doubt there was much difference between the game used ones from 94 and 95, to be honest. And if there was, please let me know. But I highly doubt there was really a difference. So I'm going to compare them, say how, let you know how close or how good they did. You know, how good Mitchell and Ness did compared to the game used version. Now, when it came to the last comparison I did, which was the 1989 home jersey, Will Clark, Mitchell Ness, and the 1987 game used version I had of that, they're pretty close. They did a pretty good job. I can already tell you there are some differences that you can kind of tell with these, but again, you really can't tell. I can just tell because I'm looking at every little thing, but you know, from first glance, they're pretty close, but you know, when you get closer to details, you can't tell. There are some differences. One thing is, this is the Mitchell and Ness. So the sleeve goes into the bottom part of the sleeve, right? And there's not really like an overlap or anything. It just kind of goes, and then it has that, I guess, stitch onto it. Whereas with the game used versions, it is like an overlap. I don't know if you can really tell, but the orange, black, and orange part overlaps over the sleeve. I don't know how else I can say that better, but that's a little different. Again, that's something that's very minute, not a big deal, but you know, it is that. But they did do, you know, right by the orange, black, and orange on the sleeves. Obviously, this one's a little more faded, but this is a game used version, so it's not surprising. Obviously, this one does not have this patch because it is a 95. And now that I think about it, it would have been kind of cool if they made this a 94, because then they could have just added this patch. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Metro has made jerseys with this patch, so that would have been kind of cool. But anyways, what else we got on the front? Let's see. The numbers actually, I mean, the name, the Giants looks almost a little bigger actually on the game used version than the Mitchell and Ness. So we'll do some measurements and check that out. Here's on the back, we got the numbers. We'll measure that too. And by the way, this is a size 44. And this is a size 46. So that's what we got there. Also, one thing that I could definitely notice, or I definitely noticed, is that the holes on the Mitchell and Ness are a lot bigger than the mesh holes on the Gamer. The Gamer mesh holes, like I said, are a lot there. They're a little smaller, but what it is there's way more of the mesh holes than here. Here, there's with the Mitchell and Ness, there's more space in between the holes. The game used version just has does not have a lot of space between all of the holes. So I'll do some closer looks on the bed, and we'll check it out. And I'm trying to see some other differences. The back's kind of different. Some of this stuff's like kind of hard to explain. So the back collar here kind of like comes out almost a little bit. It feels like on the Mitchell and Ness. It's hard to really tell, but it kind of comes out a little bit. Whereas here, it's kind of more on the game used, more just like a straight up. Again, I don't know if that's making a lot of sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, let's start doing some measurements and doing some close-ups on the bed, and we'll see how alike they are. So one thing I do notice, we have, again, Mitchell and Ness here, game used here. On the bottom, there's a little less of a gap here than here. Again, this is really doesn't matter much, just pointing it out. I can tell that the material though on the Gamer is actually a little thinner than the Mitchell and Ness. Feels a little bit thicker. So there's that. Let's move up to the front. the font is pretty much seems spot on. Let's see, the N and the T are connected, and the S. And on the gamer, they did that correctly. NT and S connected. GIA are not. So across the chest on the gamer, it is a little more than 14 inches. On the Mitchell and Ness, it's a 13 and a half. So it is a little more. Now again, this is a 44. This is a 46. And we all know, or if you do know, the Mitchell and Ness BPs run pretty small. So this almost would fit like smaller than a 44. So you got to take that into account. So, but like I said, 13 and a half inches across, a little over 14 over there. Now let's check we'll check both of the G's and see what we get. So from this point to that point on the gamer is 3 3/4 inches. Here it's 3 1/2, so not much difference. So again, this font is great. Like if you just look at the jerseys, you really can't tell much difference unless you're crazy like me and doing like extreme close-ups. Let's look at the collar now. So if you look at the collar with the gamer, it's kind of, this top part like almost dips in a little bit. Whereas with the Mitchell and Ness, it actually comes out more. So this part on the gamer is dipped in, or I don't know how you'd say it. Whereas here, it's kind of like, it's almost like a extra layer. And this is what it looks like here. So the buttons are good. You got, the buttons on the gamer are smaller, so there you go. But again, it's buttons. Like, I'm not complaining about any of this. I'm just pointing out the differences because I have both, so why not? Let's go to the sleeves. Let's see. The Mitchell and Ness sleeves are like a little wider, but nothing crazy. They do right. Oh, okay. So here it's all ribbed on the Mitchell and Ness. Here it's actually, yeah, it's almost like a separate thing. The black here seems like stitched on, huh? And like I said, this kind of, if you could tell, it's the gamer, it's out like that, whereas the Mitchell and Ness is not. Again, these are differences that no one would notice but me, so nothing wrong with that. All right, on the back, font looks good. Of course, this is a Matt Williams, it's a 9. My gamer is a John Burkett 33, so, you know, different numbers. Obviously, I'm not going to point these two out, different year, and obviously it's not Mitchell Ness Majestic, so this would obviously not be on the Mitchell Ness. Let's check the back collar, what I was talking about. So if you could tell, this is the collar of the gamer. And here's the collar of the Mitchell and Ness. Now let's check the numbers from top to bottom and see how close they are. So from top to bottom, we got 8 1/4 on the gamer. On the Mitchell and Ness, you got 8 inches. So just a little smaller slightly, but not much. So it's pretty close. And when I talked about the holes, so these are the holes on the game used. I mean, on my bad, on the Mitchell Ness right here. As you can tell, there's like a little bit more room. There's less mesh holes on this one, opposed to here. The holes seem like a little bit smaller. Seems like there's less gap between the holes, and there's just way more of them. So again, it's not much difference. You wouldn't notice this really, unless you're doing a deep dive into both jerseys like I'm doing. But pretty good job, you know. Mitchell Ness pretty good. Pretty close on this actually. All right, so compared, and honestly, Mitchell Ness did a pretty good job. They're pretty close. Again, all the things that are not the same are so small and minor and such small details that, you know, really wouldn't even notice it. So again, Mitchell Ness did their thing. Good job. Like I said, I think they do the best with their baseball jerseys in when it comes to making them what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Accurate, right? So, you know, and a lot of times the BP jerseys are a little more simple, I feel like. So you would hope they get them pretty close, and they did pretty close with this. So good job, Mitchell and Ness. There you go. Everyone have a good day. Peace.